We have two big things to discuss in today's video. Dana White will not be promoting Canelo versus Crawford after he was dropped by the promotional team by Turki Alalshikh. He won't be promoting that card whatsoever. He'll be back to the UFC where he belongs doing his job. And we're going to get to that in a second. But also in today's video, I want to break down that Jon Jones is done. We aren't getting Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. We may do, and I'm going to talk about the idea of why we may be having this completely delayed and what the problem is. But Jon Jones has been tweeting and talking and other things that Jon Jones been up to. And he's been saying some things during this, which just... I don't know what he's saying. And I do know what he's saying. And it's seeming like he don't want nothing to do with Tom Aspinall. And he's finally happy to retire. And he's been pretty upfront about this as well. So I don't know what the UFC is doing by keeping him as an undisputed champion. It may be time to completely move on without him. I'm going to get into some of those things after laughing at Dana White. Ha 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 ha. Ho, 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 ho. Dana White is out of the promotional part of Canelo versus Crawford. He will not be promoting the fight. And as you can see by some of the top comments here, MMA Guru got these boys acting different, dude. Hey, they got to watch what they're doing when MMA Guru's in town. I'm telling you guys, okay? I don't let things just go unchecked anymore. Those days are long gone in the MMA world, okay? And people posting gifs of me about this. Now, I may or may not have gone on a massive rant on Demetrius Johnson's show in person about how bad it is for Dana White to be currently promoting Canelo versus Crawford whilst the UFC goes through some kind of like fan-friendly famine where we don't get any level of entertainment on any of these cards, and we got the owner or the president of promotion in Dana White just off gallivanting doing something else. I don't know if I had anything to do with this, but I'm telling you guys, we got to keep our foot on their neck, dude. They ain't doing nothing without our tell or without our say as fans, okay? That's what we got to do as fans. We got to keep the promotion in check. Slap the bleeding nose off him, yeah? Slap them up a little bit. If they start acting too big for their boots now in the UFC, we got to just, we got to knock them down to size a little bit, to say the least. So I had this to say about Dana White. I said, Dana White dropped from promoting Canelo versus Crawford after Turki Alalshikh said, we have confirmed the promoter for Canelo versus Crawford will be Seller for Riyadh season. The broadcaster, we have not decided yet, but the date will be Saturday the 13th of September. And of course, this is paired with things that Dana White will not promote Canelo versus Crawford. This is MMA Uncensored. I mean, a few places have posted about this. And I just said, listen, man, Dana White dropped from promoting Canelo versus Crawford. Keep your head up, kid. Keep that bald head up, kid. I'm sure there's some stuff on the horizon for you, buddy. Okay? But we start focusing on the UFC for now, eh? All right? Now, maybe this is just because it's around the time of the UFC September card in Mexico, the pay-per-view there. Maybe that's why Dana White has not been asked to promote this. I like to think that Dana White brought up some dumb ideas in the promotional brainstorming room, and Turki Alalshikh just sort of waved his hand and sort of signaled to his security guards to get rid of the bald fuck from the room. I'd like to think that they were in the promotional ideas room and everybody was spitballing these really original ideas, and Dana White was saying something like, hey, listen, I could take a selfie on my fucking phone and record myself announcing the fucking fights. How about that? And then everyone in the promotional office just sort of looked around at each other and went, gesturing at each other, a couple bumps under the table. You know what I mean? Nudging each other with their elbows, laughing, everybody trying to keep their laughter back. And Dana White just like, okay, any other ideas from you, Dana White? We're going to have you promoting this. We need to have like some big ideas on how you would promote this. All right, so hear me out. I go on the Nelk Boys podcast and I really just sell this thing. Hear me out, guys. And they all start laughing again. And then Dana's on thin ice and Turki Alalshikh's just sort of gesturing to his bodyguard just to make sure, like, one more chance for Dana White. All right, hear me out, kid. I do something where These guys, listen, let me get Nina Drama on the cause. And we need to know, what Canelo and Crawford would do if an alien invasion happened. Hear me out. And then they just get rid of Dana White from the boardroom. I reckon that's how it went down. I want to believe that that's how it went down. That's the reality I choose to believe. I choose to believe in that reality where Dana White was up there spitballing ideas that were completely out of touch and had no level of promotional skill whatsoever, and then got kicked out of the promotional room back to his fucking bitch-ass project with the UFC, because we're the B leagues now in the combat sports world. So I said, but don't ever let me catch you sneaking off to boxing ever again. Shut down Power Slap 2 while you're at it, and do your job as UFC president for once, you goofball. So hopefully Dana White learns from this mistake. Hopefully Dana White learns from this mistake. Some say that it is because of clashing times with UFC Guadalajara in Mexico. We know how much Dana White loves his Mexican events. He loves it so much he might give Yair Rodriguez a title shot against Volkanovski in a rematch. I'm not joking about that either, by the way. It's absolutely disgusting, the favoritism of Mexicans. If they can't fight, they can't fight. Stop forcing it. It's sad at this point. Okay? All good, though. But listen, man, from now on, we don't just let Dana White do as he wants. Okay? We decide whether or not Dana White gets to do something. We decide if he wants to put 250K on the blackjack table with Steiny from Nelk. We decide if he gets to do anything along those lines. We decide if he wants to go to Mexico, to Cancun to gamble with Steve Will do it. We decide what and where Dana White is and doing at any given time. We decide if he gets to hit his wife back. We decide everything about Dana White's life. And I'm glad he now knows his place off of the promotional team of Canelo versus Crawford. At least he got that one picture of him standing in between them in case things went south. The classic Dana White move. Either way, good boy, Baldy. You're doing a good, this is a good kid. You're a good kid. You're a tough kid. You got a bright future ahead of you in this game, kid. Okay? Just don't go doing anything without authorizing it, without checking in with me first. Don't go doing anything like that ever again. Or there will be consequences. But we live and we learn, and I'll give you this one chance. Okay? Don't ever do it again. You're the UFC president. Start full-time being a UFC president. How about that? Anyway, John Jones is done. He's done with the Tom Aspinall fight. I don't understand what is going on with this, but I do understand what's going on with this. I really do understand it. It's hot in the UK now. This beanie's coming off for good very soon. So John Jones is on holiday. I showed you a video of him on the back of that guy's motorcycle. He's off in Thailand doing some crazy stuff. He's getting paid for it. He's living his best life as a 40-year-old man with multiple children. Just what you normally do. So he's been sort of getting all these comments about when you're going to fight, you're a duck, all of this stuff. We saw him crashing out about it. And in true John Jones fashion, to prove how little he cares about it, he has to tell everyone how little he cares about it. So everyone's asking, what's Tom actually supposed to do? Defend the interim again? I don't like how people talk about the idea of defending an interim title again. If this is what Jones is doing, and we'll get to it in a second, strip him of the belt. It's done. I don't think Jones is worth that much. In all honesty, Jones Aspinall would probably sell about 1 million pay-per-views. Maybe, right? Maybe it would sell 1 million pay-per-view buys. At this point in the pay-per-view model, maybe it would sell 1 million. I honestly think the damage that is being done to the heavyweight division by holding this up for John Jones is not worth it at all. He's not relevant like that. He's not a crazy fun fighter to watch. He's not interesting in any way. He's not good on the mic in the build-up. He doesn't promote fights well. He's a boring, lame bitch who's only interesting because I like bullying him. In all honesty. That's really it. The only thing interesting about John Jones is how he embarrasses himself on a regular basis. Get rid of the belt around. I don't know why they're holding on to that. But if we could have Jones Aspinall, then we'll do anything to get just one more Jones fight. The sport could very happily move on without him. But the problem is, they've waited so long that now we're stuck having to wait for this fight because that's the reason why we've waited this long. And Jones doesn't seem interested. Let's play a few clips here.
Yeah. I'm over here sipping on coconut. talk about when you gonna fight.
John Jones over here sipping on a coconut and people are talking about when you gonna fight. Laugh, laugh, laugh. I don't know what's going on, but then he also said in this other clip as well that he's done as well.
My man, I'm excited to see you again.
But you are still active.
This guy on the phone says, John, but you are still active. And then John Jones replied,
10 years left, but you are still active.
10 years left, but you're still active, the guy says.
He said, you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm done.
He's like,
I'm done. Maybe he was saying, I'm done. As in the guy saying, I'm still active, I've still got time. I'm done, as in like, well, that's a joke, and I'm saying I'm done to it. But Jones is just going off on this spree, and then these tweets came out as well. Been out here in Thailand, enjoying life, stuffing my face every day. And I swear I'm losing weight somehow. The quality of the food here is amazing, so delicious, so clean. Now, let's really analyze that first tweet here from John Jones, okay? Been out here in Thailand, enjoying life, stuffing my face every day, and I swear I'm losing weight somehow. Now, when it's not food that you're stuffing your fucking face with, you can still lose weight despite stuffing your face. Maybe that was John Jones trying to give us a hidden message. Maybe that was a soft launch on him finally accepting who he really is. I don't really know. But that's an interesting thing to start with there, you know? Even though I'm stuffing my face every day, I swear I'm still losing weight somehow. There you go. Johnny Meat, as you all know, he's renamed himself to, which is interesting stuff. Then someone said, enjoy your last days as champ before being stripped, I see, John? And he said, stripped? Well, do I come across as the type of person who cares about things like that? You kind of do care about the idea of stripping in general, but, you know, doesn't care about things like that. He's been stripped before for beating up women and getting drunk and going into all these problems and stuff. And, you know, he's been stripped of the belt before. I understand. But then it was this tweet here. Yes, otherwise you'd have vacated the belt a long time ago because you don't plan to fight Tom. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I told the UFC my plans a long time ago. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. I actually believe John Jones here. And this was the tweet of his yesterday that got the most attention. I really do believe John Jones has told the UFC that he's not interested. Or he's given a crazy number that he knows they won't meet. And they have just not relayed that information to Tom whatsoever. And I honestly believe, and this is my overall take, you know, he said, you know, someone said, what exactly are your plans to continue to monetize on this amazing brand that I've created? What kind of fucking chat GPT answer this? Lamau, shut the fuck up and fight. Lamau, this attitude right here is making me a very wealthy man. This desperation is incredibly lucrative. So thank you. Keep it coming. I mean, the way this guy tweets is interesting. When I say it like that, though, anything can have that connotation. Either way, with this tweet here, I told the UFC my plans a long time ago. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. I bet you he said no a while ago. And the UFC, and this is something that not a lot of people have discussed, but I've brought it up before, but now I'm almost guaranteed on it. I think at first, Jones just didn't want anything to do with Aspinall and was scared of him, going to get knocked out, I think. But he could win. I admit it's still John Jones. But I think the UFC was sort of like, okay, let's do the Jones-Stipe fight for the theatrics of it, and to get those names in the cage with each other is a big deal for them. Okay, let's do Jones this. You know what I mean? I was angry at that fact. I thought they should have done Jones Aspinall then and there. But all good. But then again, after that, I think the UFC were like, oh shit, he really doesn't want to fight Tom. We thought he kind of would. Or he'd have retired and made a very clear, decisive moment of retirement. But then again, John Jones, what I think is going on here is that John Jones is asking for a crazy amount of money. That he knows they won't meet because he wants a reason other than his own unwillingness to fight Tom Aspinall to be the official reason as to why he retired. He would like to go down in UFC history where the reason for his retirement was the UFC didn't meet his requirement for the money that he wanted to fight Tom. They didn't pay him enough. The UFC never pays their guys enough. They just lost another big matchup because of it. He doesn't want it to be on him historically. But what this also shows me is that even though the UFC aren't likely to get a Jones-Aspinall fight, they keep telling Aspinall that they've got updates coming. At the end of the week, you'll hear for real what's going on. You know, tonight, we're making an announcement with Tom. We keep hearing about these moments with Tom where they're going to finally say what needs to be said. I reckon they're stringing this along because they're signing with a new contract, a new platform to promote their fights with. Their ESPN deal's coming to an end. I don't think they're going to re-sign with ESPN. So they're going to sign with this new platform and promotion for their fights. And they want this as leverage. If Jones retires and they don't have Jones versus Aspinall, we might not get Makhachev to Furia now. They've been forced to make other fights because they need events, to have main events. And Makhachev wants to move up to 170. So their hands are tied in other places. But they want Jones versus Aspinall to be something as leverage that they use with this other platform to say, listen, you know, we've got this brewing. Sign with us and sweeten the deal and we'll get Jones versus Aspinall at MSG November. So maybe there are high hopes. Maybe that's what John Jones is doing right now. Like, oh, I know they might offer me a crazy amount if they want to get this new deal, this new sponsor, not sponsor, but this new platform signed to them, this new broadcasting deal that they're trying to cut. So I think that's what they're doing. At first, I think they just weren't interested in Jones-Aspinall. And then second of all, I think they realized, oh, Jones doesn't really want it. This is kind of sad. Let's see if we can meet him in a negotiation phase. And then third, now that John Jones is all the way out of the idea of the fight with Tom Aspinall, it would seem, or being in any way active whatsoever, and just the UFC's now letting him humiliate the company. The only reason for letting John Jones humiliate the company in this way is to use the idea of the Jones-Aspinall fight as leverage in a new platforming, broadcasting deal that's going to be cut soon. That's the only reason I can see for this. Other than that, I don't see why they would let John Jones humiliate the division. He's not like, the thing is about John Jones is, he's not must-see TV. You'll watch him. But, like, the divisions can move on. Like, we don't really desperately need another Jones fight. Like, if Jones-Aspinall happens and Aspinall finishes him, amazing. If Jones wins impressively, also amazing. Not for the future of the division, but amazing for the moment, I guess, that Jones would win again and there'd be this crazy moment. But in the long term of the UFC, do we need Jones around right now? We don't need this soy little, like, pansy frolicking around in Thailand as the champion of the division. Like, we just don't need that right now, man. And he's, like, corny. He's cringe. Some of his fights have been fun recently against fucking fat old men and Cyril Gane who fucking shit the bed against him. But other than that, like, were you thrilled by the Reyes fight? No. Other than the moments where Reyes was beating his ass? Not really. The Santos fight? Could do without either or. Even the Gustafsson fight that he had was kind of mid as well. When you look back at it, like, it wasn't as crazy as war as they pounded out. So I don't think they should be letting John Jones humiliate the company like this. He's not, this isn't McGregor as a champ that they want to keep a hold of. Stop letting him humiliate the company, cut him from the division, strip him of the belt, and move on with Aspinall versus Gane. It fucking sucks that that's the alternative, but we can't hold out Aspinall's career even longer, and we can't hold out the heavyweight division even longer. This shit needs to stop. It needs to stop. I can't walk 2 feet here in Thailand without taking a picture. My Russian fan base and my UK fan base has somehow exploded. 1.4k likes. I shit out better likes than this. Like, he's just coping. Like, this is all cope from John. It's sad, but there you go. And he's blocked me as well, like a fucking bitch that he is. Still tweeting, and there he goes. Rent-free, boys. See you later. Goodbye, Toodle Pip. Stop this John Jones shit, man. We don't need him this badly. Stop letting him humiliate the UFC. Move on, you know? And there's also this other thing as well. I mean, this stuff is this stuff. Wife and 3 kids, by the way. People are making, and Tony has died on Instagram. We've got a petition out. Petition to strip John Jones of the undisputed UFC heavyweight belt. It's got 7,000 signatures, by the way. So, listen. Just do your thing. You know, I don't know what else we can do. But this is something, I guess. So I'm not sure what way to go about this, but at least this is a move in the positive direction. We've now got literal petitions out there to get this man's belt away from him as soon as possible so we can move on with the UFC. What the fuck is the UFC doing? Move on already. What the fuck? Like and subscribe. See you later. Or at least give us an official announcement of November. Give us something. We need answers in this 2-week break before we come back to Blanchfield versus Barber. Or I'll lose my fucking mind. Goodbye.